I just got the Too Faced Stardust by Vegas Nay makeup set. I purchased mine off of Ulta, and surprisingly, they got it here pretty quickly, so I think Ulta is kind of upping their shipping game. I believe this is exclusive to Ulta and the Too Faced website, and I did check, and both of them are still available on both sites. So this is what the box looks like on the outside, and then inside of there is another box, and I was kind of like thinking to myself that the eyeshadow palette was going to be housed in this big of a packaging, because it came like this. There's a lot of packaging going on here. But you lift it right here, and then inside of the box you've got Vegas Nay, who is big on Instagram, and she's got a couple of her Instagram looks on here. And then inside of this fold was the palette, and on this side here I'll show you the layout with the other products that came in the set. A total ton of packaging, but it is cute nonetheless. This was in one side. There are 6 look cards with Vegas Nay on there. You get a deluxe size shadow insurance. What size is this? 0.17 ounce eyeshadow insurance. This is just a little bit too drying for my lids, but I know a lot of people it works for. And then you get a deluxe size of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And this is a nice mascara. I know a lot of people love it. It's not one that I've loved enough to go out and purchase the full size. I've just been kind of getting minis in sets like this. And then it also comes with a little Nude Beam Too Faced Glamour Dust, and this is a 0.02 ounce jar. It's just a little guy. I did bring out the full size one so you guys can see the size difference in the two. And I did use this little shimmer dust here on the center of my lid over one of the gold shades, which I did do a demo on this look, which will be towards the end of the video if you're interested in that. But I did use this little glimmer dust here over one of the shades on my lid so it was a little bit more sparkly. But that is the glimmer dust right there. There was a tiny bit of fallout. This does have micro glitters in it, however they're quite small, so just something to bear in mind. And then you've got the palette, which is what I was excited about. And I was also excited to find out that inside the packaging, the actual palette was all by itself, and it was nice and thin and compact. So it kind of mirrors the box packaging. It says Too Faced Stardust by Vegas Nay on there. This palette doesn't have a mirror in it, so if you're somebody who likes mirrors and palettes, this one doesn't have one. And then inside you do get 12 eyeshadows in here, and each shadow is 0.04 ounces, so they're almost a full-size eyeshadow. It's a good amount. Now, just glancing at this, I know that like this shade Double Tap, they're all renamed, but Too Faced likes to include shades that they already have in like previous like holiday palettes I've seen them in. Some of even their permanent palettes, they just rename them, but they're some of the same shades. This kind of like this shade here, the gold, there's quite a few shades in here that remind me of previous palettes. So if you have a ton of Too Faced palettes, you may already have these in your collection. I'm gonna go ahead and hold it up real quick to 2 of the holiday palettes here. Yeah, there's a shade in here called Soiree. This one is the Too Faced A Few of My Favorite Things palette. This shade Soiree is the exact same shade in the Vegas Nay palette called Double Tap right there. Let me see what else I can see here. And then in the Too Faced Everything Nice palette, I'm seeing the strip. The shade called The Strip in the Vegas Nay seems to be the same as the shade Marvelous in the larger palette. And then also the shade Follow Me, which is the purple, appears to be Live It Up, that's in the Everything Nice palette. But those are the ones I'm seeing just at a glance there. So there are some repeats from older Too Faced palettes in this palette here. Now I tried to use quite a few of the shades to get an overall feel for it, and I did blend mattes from the crease upwards so I could see how if they went patchy or anything like that, and I was really happy with the performance of them. They blended really well. Everything seemed to be quite pigmented. I did have to build up like this Double Tap shade through the crease a little bit, but everything went pretty swell. I had a tiny bit of fallout with Double Tap, but that was the only shade that I kind of had fallout with, and a little bit of the glitter when I tapped it on with my finger. Otherwise, I used all 3 of these shades on the top row, which are all matte. I used Showgirl on the lid, a tiny bit of Gold Nugget on the inner corner, and then I used Double Tap as my crease shade up through here, and everything was nice. So I ended up using 6 shadows out of the palette for the look that's on my eyes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and zoom up close and give you guys some swatches so you guys can get a better idea of the palette. So here's the palette up close, right here. And then inside, this is what she looks like. And then these are the shades, and I'm going to go ahead and swatch them by 3s, and then on unprimed skin. So these top 3 right here are matte, and then the other one that's pure matte is this one called Sin City. And then the shade Double Tap is one of those that has micro shimmers in it, but the base of the shadow is matte. On me, I think it kind of just came out as a matte color. So let's swatch these ones here. This is Chandelier, Millennial, and Girls Night. Right there. Then you've got Selfie, Showgirl, and Jackpot. I love this shade Showgirl. It's what I have on my lid. It's beautiful. And then you've got Pink Pearl, The Strip, and Follow Me. And I was really drawn to these purples, but I thought I would do something that I normally wouldn't do, and I don't do a lot of warm brown, I guess. So those are those three colors. And then the last three colors are Double Tap, Golden Nugget, and Sin City. Those look like, oh, these would look really pretty together. They kind of remind me of, what's that, that Melt Cosmetics stack or something? Sort of. Anyway. And I believe this whole set was $48, I want to say, which is, it's not bad for all the little extras you get in there. So hopefully those swatches were helpful for you guys. I really like the way that this palette performed. I did use 6 shades. I used 4 of the matte shades, because I kind of consider the Double Tap shade a matte, even though there's like little tiny shimmers in it. It's like a matte base. And everything blended really well. The shade Showgirl is so buttery. It almost reminds me of the new Kat Von D Metal Shadows, the way that it feels. It's super pigmented. The Gold Nugget shade and the Strip shade are a little bit chunkier in texture than the Showgirl shade, these ones right here. And then the Jackpot shade does have some micro shimmers in it as well. I really liked how this performed. And all in all, I think it's a pretty nice little set. It's crazy because it's like an introduction to some of the holiday sets that I've been seeing all over Instagram, which I'm really, really excited about, but I'm also like terrified. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing this look that's on my eyes right now and kind of how these shadows performed upon first use, you can hang tight and we will get into it right now. I already went ahead and primed my lids from the lash line to up underneath the brow with the NYX eyeshadow bases, and I mixed 01 with 03 to get just kind of a lighter flesh tone color. Then on a Goss number 18 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Showgirl, which is right there, and I'm going to pack that on the majority of the lid. That's intense. On the same brush on the side, I'm going to pick up just a dash of Gold Nugget, which is this guy right here, and I'm going to put it right there. Blend it into that Gold Nugget shade, or the Showgirl shade. Then on a Chikuhodo GSN9, I'm going to go into the shade Double Tap, which is a deep, it's one of those shades that has the sparkles kind of in it, like little fine ones, but the base is a matte. I'm really going to tap my brush off on that, and then I'm going to go into the outer portion right here, and I'm going to bring this through the crease. And kind of bring it upwards. Kind of having to build this one a bit. And I've got just a little bit of fallout of that dark color. I'm going to brush it off right away. I just downloaded The Weeknd's new album and it's just playing over and over in my mind right now. I'm like, focus! On a Chikuhodo GSN7, I'm going to go into the shade Chandelier, which is a really light matte cream color. I almost wish that there was a little bit deeper of a cream color in here, because this one seems to be pretty light, but we'll see how she goes. I'm going to put this underneath the brow and kind of bring it down to, there's a bit of pink in that cream, I think. but I'm going to bring it down to where that burgundy shade is. I'm going to dip into the shade Millennial, which is this one right here. It's also a matte color on a Hakuhodo J5533 brush. And I'm going to start blending out that double tap that we put in the crease with this. And lately I've been enjoying taking that transition up to the base of the brow and kind of fading it up higher instead of leaving it open. Just kind of, I don't know, deep sets my eyes a little bit, but... Then on a Hakuhodo J146 brush, I'm going to go into a bit of this shade right here, which is called Girls Night, and that's also a matte color. I'm going to put this up here. So far, everything's building and blending, and I don't have any patchiness, and I'm really trying to work with these mattes here, and it's going good. So that's good. And then again with the Hakuhodo 5533, I'm not picking up any more product, but I'm going to buff this out some more. And one quick run through with the GSN7, I'm not picking up any more of that highlight color, but I'm going to buff this outer portion out right here, and then this right here. So there's the eyeshadow done. I thought I would go ahead and take my finger and use a little bit of this Too Faced Glamour Dust in Nude Beam, which came in the little kit here, and just tap a tiny bit of that on the center of my lid. See what it looks like over that gold. Just added a little bit more shine, I guess. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eye makeup, and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. For lips, I have the Marc Jacobs Pout Liner in the shade Nudist. I'm just going to go ahead and line them and kind of bring it in a little bit. Then I'm going to fill them in with the Too Faced Melted Liquefied Longwear Lipstick in the shade Melted Chihuahua. So there's the overall finished look using the new Too Faced Stardust by Vegas Nay collaboration set. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.